Good day, everyone. My name is Ambassador Fego Okonedo. Thank you so much for your warm reception towards the last video. It was impressed on me that I have to explain further and give some details and call names. So I'll be mentioning some names in this video so that you will understand their role in this scheme of things. Now, we have a company that was called Ocean Marine Solution Limited. But most people don't know about this company. Why? But this company was the one that handled the pipeline surveillance under the Warri administration. So how come this might be the first time you are hearing about Ocean Marine Services Limited? Ocean Marine was a company that was owned by Captain Idahosa Wells Okumbo of blessed memory, may his soul rest in peace. And then Prince Shola Emiko was a high-ranking official of Ocean Marine. He even grew to be the chairman of Ocean Marine Services Limited. So initially you had Captain Osa here, then you had Prince Shola Emiko here. In Tantita, you have Tompolo as the chairman, then you have Kestin Pondi as the MD. So you understand the power dynamics. Then Prince Shola Emiko grew to be the chairman of Ocean Marine Services Limited, the most powerful company in the Niger Delta as at Buhari administration because of pipeline surveillance contracts. So how come you don't know about Ocean Marine? In my opinion, Ocean Marine simply didn't do empowerment the way Tantita is doing it. And their performance must have been very poor. In my opinion, that is why their contract was not renewed. Because you cannot compare 250 to 500,000 barrels per day. Then when Tantita was giving a test for the pipeline surveillance, they were giving it on a temporary basis. They ramped up crude oil production to 1.8 million barrels. Then subsequently, it was ranging between 2.2 to 2.5 million barrels per day. And we know that the Nigerian economy is heavily reliant on crude. The credit facilities the Nigerian government gets is required. Crude oil is a very, very important requirement. And the revenue Nigerian government gets is heavily based on crude. So now you see that it's a case of two rival companies, that the chairman of one company, who was then Prince Shola Emiko, now later became Atuashe III, the king of the Shekiri people. Then you have Tompolo on one side, who is now an Ijaw man and is a very, very high-ranking Ijaw person in the country today, or in the Ijaw nation. And then, of course, you have Kestin Pondi. Then you have Barrister Esimaje Vincent. And I'm mentioning these names because each of them have their own role to play. Now, it is remarkable that there's another company. It is called Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited. PINL, Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited. And Atuashe III, that's the king of the Shekiris, he has a very major stake in PINL. And also it is said that some of the pipelines in Rivers and Bayelsa states, PINL is the one that is in charge of securing those pipelines. I don't know how true that is, but it is said, allegedly, as content creators will say. So you see now there are three companies. You have Ocean Marine, you have Tantita, you have Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited. Three different companies. Now, Tantita seems to be the one that has like the major contracts. Because a lot of people are saying, if you read the news, you see people say, oh, renew Tantita's contract, don't renew Tantita's contract, don't renew. A lot of people are having their eyes on Tantita's contracts. And now, it comes to delineation issues, tribal issues, boundary issues. You are hearing Tantita's name up and down. And people are saying renew, people are saying don't renew. If they don't renew Tantita's contract, who stands to gain? It either goes back to Ocean Marine, Pipeline Infrastructure, or very unlikely it will now go to maybe another new company. Mind you, when Tantita came on board, Ocean Marine had been existing for a long number of years. It was incorporated in 2007. Pipeline Infrastructure was incorporated in 2019. So Tantita is like a new company Tantita is like that new company that came to spoil everybody's shoe, because not only are they doing a good job, there's massive empowerment. The thing is spread out. You understand? So I mentioned some names. I mentioned Barrister Esimaje Vincent. I mentioned High Chief Kestin Pondi. I mentioned the king of the Shekiris, Atuashe III. I mentioned Captain Hosa Wells Okumbo. Those are 5 names I believe that I mentioned. Subsequently, we are going to be looking at what is everybody's role in these companies. Asari Dokubo is there by the side, but I'm not a Rivers man, so I will not really be able to talk much about that. But this Delta State own, we really need to, so that our youths, we understand what we are getting into. Because I tell people, if you are talking about boundary issues, and you are saying that Barrister Kingsley Otuaro defrauded or cheated the Ishekiri nations by readjusting the boundaries in the Petroleum Industry Act to favor Ijaw companies in petroleum industry, then I ask myself, don't you have rep members? Your rep members didn't read the bill. They didn't read it before it was signed. If you're talking about delineation issues, that is a case that has been in court since 1999. And finally, Supreme Court judgment has come. And INEC should they should finish their delineation, because if they don't finish the delineation, there is no election in Warri Federal Constituency in 2027. They should come and finish up the delineation. Because I've not seen where they overturn a Supreme Court judgment. And left alone to me, I don't even feel that there should be a political solution to this, because it is very clear. Urhobo's majority in Warri South, Ijaw's are majority in Warri Southwest, and Warri North. I think that is what they've put on the delineation. I have not finished studying it per se, so I really don't want to speak on it. But what I really want to speak on is this pipeline surveillance contract, because I'm seeing some comments. Some people are saying that, oh, and it's coming from my Shekiri brothers. They are saying that this contract, when it should not be renewed for Tantita, then they should share it according to tribe. It's not possible. Perish that idea. It cannot work. Because when Ocean Marine was handling the general contract, they did not share anything tribe by tribe. Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited is said to be even handling some critical pipeline surveillance in Rivers and Bayelsa State. So if an Ishekiri man or an Ishekiri monarch, his company that he has a stake in, is handling something critical in Rivers and Bayelsa State, why can't an Ijaw man have the overall general contract? So you see that when the federal government is doing all these contracts, tribalism doesn't come to play. It's not a matter of tribalism. So remove that idea of tribalism from your head. It's a matter of KPIs, key performance index. It's a matter of track record. It's a matter of competence. And it's a matter of corporate social responsibility. How well do you carry the communities that are involved along? And then your deliverables. So we'll do another video again, because there are so many things that we need to talk about. We need to get into the nitty-gritty of this. And I believe that by the time I'm done, maybe some of our youths, they will now have a rethink as to all this noise that they are making on social media.